A study was conducted at Cornell University in which they asked people how many calamities and problems you expected would happen, and they did not happen. The strange thing is that they found that the problems that actually happened were 15%, but of the expected problems, that is, and 85% of the problems that people kept thinking about, they did not happen. No, I also take the big one, 79%. Of the problems that happened, they were solved better than their owners did. You expect that the one you are afraid of will not come out better than him. So, where is the problem, Green? The problem, my friend, is that the time you are wasting thinking about problems, difficulties, and circumstances are caused by something called stress, which is a state of mental exhaustion that causes anxiety, fear, and pressure. You are unable to solve the problem or respond properly to those around you. It is also possible to lead to depression if it is more than that. It causes heart disease, which is considered one of the biggest causes of death. Psychological stress can affect our lives. I will not answer this question, my friend, I am sorry, because the answer is clear. Don't focus, my friend, for a moment. Are there more important questions you can ask, such as psychological stress? And what are its reasons? Okay, is there a guaranteed solution that protects us from it? Okay, sorry, I am working hard, the world is not the reason. How will I control my work, my boss, my studies, my children, my life partner, these plans, exams, obligations, and installments? The story for you at the end of the month. I will help you change your mentality with which you judge things in your life, and all of this in just 4 steps. I end our episode today based on the book The End of Stress, The 4 Steps to Redirect Your Brain by Dr. Don Joseph Joy, the story of our book. The end of psychological stress. Let us take the matter from the beginning. How does psychological stress happen? The book, titled The Brain, has 2 parts. The first part is the higher brain, which is responsible for planning and implementation processes. Responses that require intelligence and analysis. The second part is the lower or primitive brain, which is responsible for emotional responses such as fear and anger. And it's also like stress. Okay, nice and strong. Stress keeps happening to the brain. Cert, we have something in the lower brain called emotional memory, which stores all the events that happen to you and affect your emotions and feelings, and not only that, it also stores with it your emotional response to these events, such as a memory, your failure in a particular subject or exam. You are dizzy, or you are separated from your beloved lover. May God protect you from the pain. I swear this is all in the context of the episode, sorry. The important thing is that these negative memories are stored in your response to them, and the first time a situation similar to the memory occurs, the day the brain souffles and brings you the similar response. What does it also mean if a certain fatality in your work fails? Your response was sadness. And regret and scold yourself because you did not make any effort, enough to spend a little time on the topic, and I came to be silent again, and I stood with you for a while, so that your brain would go and tell you something similar to the old memory, which is the result of the same second response, sadness, remorse, and rebuke. At that time, the feeling that dominates you will be fear. Hence the psychological stress of making wrong decisions under the influence of fear in the world, al-Bustani. And your negative memories, thoughts, and feelings invade again. Although this is not inevitable, you can change it like that, and here I can change my brain's response to external factors. Oh, my friend, of course it is possible to do the same by changing the mental attitude to this mental attitude. Also, very simply, the mental attitude, is the way you deal with external circumstances. If you are studying a lot, there is a lot of stress outside or on you. My work is late and I go online at night. This is an external circumstance. Anything that you do not have direct control over is an external circumstance. If you are able to control the way you see the external circumstance, at that time, you will adjust the way the brain responds and you will see the external circumstance as a good opportunity for growth, because your brain will no longer be restricted by fear and its functions will remain working properly. In short, you have an external circumstance plus a mental attitude that equals an emotional response, which is all our work. You will remain in the mental position. Okay. How is that a respectable, strong statement? Do we adjust our mental attitude? It wasn't supposed to, my friend. Before you ask, how should I be fair? From the mental position? You ask? I don't know who I am. I have psychological stress. I can't get out of shape, brother, and I don't need it. So, should we discover the psychological stress? By examining our habits and daily routine, do I have a pen and paper? And answer these questions. Do you have difficulty making decisions and enjoying the small daily details? Do you suffer from a decrease in concentration and your ability to remember? Do you suffer from loss of appetite or difficulty sleeping? Or vice versa, because there are people who tell me, do you suffer from binge eating and sleep 15 hours a day? Finally, are you becoming more isolated from others every day? Don't you want to see anyone? No one sees you? If you answer Deb's questions yes, you will have psychological stress and will have to complete the episode until the end to find out the solution. But if you answer no, then you also have to do the whole other thing. Why do you know? Maybe someone has psychological stress and there is no need, so you tell him the solution is the friend who has the other. I mean, the solution is 4 steps. The first step is building awareness. How do we do this? First, we will make an assessment of the causes of psychological stress. For example, I get tired when I sit in a crowded place as soon as I discover that I forgot something important. I know a friend of mine who gets very tired. If he is stressed about something, he must get rid of it, and so on. Each person has a different meaning of the causes of psychological stress. And secondly, what do you select from them? External and internal factors that you have no direct control over, meaning you cannot change anything, remain external factors, and what you can change remain internal factors. For example, transportation crowding is an external factor. As for procrastination, which makes us get stuck in the end, this is an internal factor. The third point is changing your mental attitude and response to factors. We agreed that the feeling of fear is what remains in control of the brain under psychological stress. How can we erase this fear? You should ask yourself this question whenever you feel afraid. What am I afraid of? To reach the roots of fear and remove it. I mean, for example, a person is afraid that he will make a mistake at work. It is better for him to leave and lose everything and fall into the eyes of his friend, and his family will move away from him and there will be nothing wrong with him or what? What's in the middle of the people? Think about me, the root cause of fear. Yes, it is the lack of value. This is the root cause of fear. We will start by looking back. Is your residency really valid? But what is your job? Of course not. Work is a means of making money and nothing more. What about your family? Is their relationship with you because you get money? Only? Also? No? Is their relationship deeper than that? Is it possible that your close friends stay away from you because of a bad situation you are going through? No, it is possible that most of them will stop beside you and help you. Niji is the first thing at all. Can you leave work? Because of one mistake? No, you can also remember the many things you did, right? The manager relies on you because of your competence, and be sure, my friend, that this is the nature of work, and it is possible that we make mistakes or fall short. We have finished building awareness, and this is the first of 4 steps on the way to ending psychological stress. The second step is to reach calm, and this includes 4 techniques, or the technique is start your day in calm. This means that as soon as you wake up, prepare a little of this with yourself in complete relaxation, without thinking, not working on paper, boy lines, or studying to know how to face the world after that. What are you? Are you comfortable? Second technique. It is a temporary separation from events, which helps us maintain calm in the middle of the day. The first time you feel that the world is turbulent on your mind and you do not know where you are going, how to take a break, and so on. It keeps you away from worry. And after you come back, see what happened again. But from afar, not personally, as if you are only being watched. However, the technique for achieving calm is the correct handling of loss of control. Any problem you encounter or a difficult situation you are going through. Prestige, you have 3 options, they are worthless. The book calls them the 3 reasonable options. The first is to change the difficult situation or solve the problem. The second solution is to avoid the problem in the first place. The third solution remains and acceptance of what happened. Here we live with the issue as a fait accompli and salvation. So, what does it mean that we choose the solution based on what? I swear, my friend, you will see the least harmful of them and the one you can apply at the present time, and the last technique is to solve the problem of confusion that happens to you when you keep running after external goals without a clear internal goal. What did Abudi solve? Aren't you doing that? Isn't this a list of tasks that are supposed to be accomplished for external goals, anyway? Make a list similar to it and call it Toby. I am not the state you want to achieve, and put it in the context of your mental and emotional goals, family, health, etc. Okay, we have built awareness of stress and reached the calm required to solve it. Okay, if there are traces of psychological stress that I went through before, how can I recover from it? The first step to recovering from the effects of psychological stress is taking a vacation. Yes, as I heard that you have to take a vacation for a month or how many weeks? Continue to separate them from your usual surroundings, which contain most of the causes of stress. Oh my goodness, if you take a vacation before you start solving the problem of stress in the first place, it will make a difference. Yes, of course it will make a difference. The root of your behaviors under stress turns into habits that are difficult to change, and they will keep repeating themselves like a cycle. So in order to break this cycle, you must take a vacation, of course, the biggest stress-causing environment. Psychologically, it is the work environment. She tells me, is there anyone who knows how to take a month off from work? Green? That's it? We rely on regular holidays. I tried to stay away from stressors such as work, disconnect from his calls and conversations. Oh, if you travel for a short time, or change the place where you live, or do new activities with your family or friends, this will greatly help you recover. The second step to recover from the effects of stress is to confront shyness, which is a feeling of fear of people's opinions and reactions. I wonder how you see. Did they like it? My job now? Do you think about them before anything you say or do? Okay, and the solution? Any? Are you narrowing the gap between your current state and the imaginary perception of yourself and the need you achieve? Then your mistakes remain opportunities for growth and learning, and you face your shyness with more courage. I am wrong in front of people, and it is not a problem if they say that I am not interested in him at all, but this, of course, does not mean that you should take criticism at all. especially if the criticism is constructive or what your manager is saying for sure. We have reached the last step in our journey to eliminate psychological stress, which is to review after every period of sitting with yourself and repeat the steps again. Evaluate the level of psychological stress and the change that occurred. Is it enough? And you have reached the result that you want, or do you still need to make a greater effort? And keep in mind, it is very normal to make a mistake in the first place, and it takes time to build awareness of the stress you have, because a problem like this will not be solved in a while or a car, so you must wait a long time and reach it. Until here, I would like to tell you one last thing. Do not be tempted by the emergence of the problem of psychological stress, and do not be lazy to solve it, because its long-term effects are devastating to your mental and even physical health. However, if you think that there is no benefit, I tell you to try it, my brother. You are in love with something, you have something to lose. You lose everything and that's it.